Hi, I'm Dave and this is my Altezza. Today I'm going in with one specific mission, and that is to fit this idle speed control valve. I'm going to try and fit it somewhere where I don't have to look at it because I don't actually like it. This is from Panic. If you haven't heard of them, then look them up because they make a lot of good stuff for this. Namely ECU looms and things, but they do sell this. So step one is going to be get rid of the filter. Lucky for me, I've only got it attached with one clip. This is still difficult to get out. It's going to be ruined before I even drive the damn car. Yeah, fits beams. Bullshit it does. Fits beams, doesn't fit car. Fits beams, doesn't fit car with beams in it. Strictly for engine stand use only. Now, as much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to take this plate off again. So yeah, take all the trumpets off. 25 minutes later, we might have something to show for all of our work. I hate doing this. I just keep thinking, can't help it. Just fit ITBs. It'll be easier. So not. Things they don't tell you. Well, what they don't tell you is when you fit ITBs, you no longer have any idle control at all. This is it. I want the idle to sit lower, and then when you turn the aircon on, the idle will come up higher. On a normal car, the ECU can do that using one of these. Once you go ITBs on this car, the ECU can't do it anymore. So what people normally do is just pull on this a little bit more and make the car run at higher RPM. And that works, but I want that OEM feel, you know, like a normal car. So yeah, fitting one of these. Not really something I wanted to do, but here we are. Now I have to, see how big this thing is? I have to try and fit it somewhere. I really don't like that, and I'm working on a solution to get rid of it. Why couldn't it fit there? Here, maybe. In here? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. Ah, jeez, Dick. One of the big things with this is that it's got that on one side and that on the other side. If these were both on the same side, then you could bolt it to something. This is the input, right? This has to be to the vacuum side. If you could switch it, well, then you could just bolt this to the back of your plate using a gasket, connect this up to the vacuum, and you'd be good to go, which is what I thought, but they are directional, so you can't do that. The idea of bolting it to the backing plate is that you wouldn't need a filter on it because it would be inside this filtered area here. If you're the type of person that thinks that that looks cool, yeah, just bang it on there, no worries. I want a minimalistic look. I don't want to be able to see any of this shit. So I want to hide the whole damn thing, which is not going to be easy. Down in there, if we were to put that on there, that would just complicate shit. So let's not do that. It doesn't fit anywhere. My sole mission for today is to mount this, but where? It's the same size as a throttle body. Okay, the filter's so big that it doesn't fit in there. Okay, well that ends that. But this is the only side of the thing that's got nothing going on. Over this side you've got a plug, here you've got a hose, and here you've got a filter. Why couldn't they put at least, you know, two things pointing the same direction? Let's go get the plate and have a look. Gonna need some bolts to hold the bastard on. Gonna leave the washers behind because that's just gonna complicate shit. Right, you can go on there. Now if I was to be so bold as to do something like this, that doesn't work. Does this work? We're going right next to that. No, it's going to hang too low. So the idea I'm having here is to drill a hole in this and then to poke this through with a rubber seal on it so that this can breathe into this filtered area. But there's really not enough plate to do it. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I'm beginning to think this wasn't such a fantastic idea. I'm going to put this on here just sort of temporarily. I've got a T-piece. This was quite difficult for me to buy. Had to wait a week after ordering it from Yahoo Auction. Right, back in here again. What are we going to get if we try and do this stupid shit? Probably a world of pain. Yeah, the hose just crimps itself because there's not enough room. Like the best thing to do is something like this. Right? Just... something like that. Just bolt it down somewhere out of the way. But I mean, the wings on it aren't even big enough to reach the chassis because it's not designed for this. This is supposed to fit on something. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to fit it to. Could bolt it to... I mean, we could actually bolt it to this. Like straight up, drill holes in this, drill it, tap it, seal it, and then bolt it on. That would be absolutely incredible. But I risk ruining my vacuum block by doing that. No extra hoses. It's just a matter of whether this is big enough to be able to go onto the vacuum block or not. And is the vacuum block metal thick enough to thread for the bolts that I want to put into it? Two very big questions that I won't know the answer to until I start drilling into it. Ruin my vacuum block real quick. Well, I mean, I could always take it somewhere and have it welded back up. It's going to be the underside, so even if they did a shit job of welding it, as long as it's sealed, it wouldn't make a difference. I could put a plate across it and I could JB weld up the holes and then it would seal. So I think I'm overthinking it and should just go for it. Measure it and see if there's actually enough room. We've got the most accurate measuring equipment in the world, 29 mil. That'll give us a nice thick gasket around the outside. We can put any kind of RTV, or we could make a paper gasket easy enough for that. All right, let's see, 2.9. What have we got here? This is exactly 3. So, I mean, it's kind of screaming at me to do it. That edge would be on this edge. Okay, I need to take that off. Okay, that's really in there. I'm a bit worried now that if I get that out of there, I won't be able to get it back in again. I'm gonna have to take this to a vise. Okay, I got that out. I think that this is actually a Ford unit, and they just put this in here. That was really difficult to get out, and the thread isn't so well cut, so they might use this to actually cut the thread. That is tapered, so I think they just force this in there and then sell the unit. And I'm not mad about that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, if we were to do that, we could put this anywhere we want. Where would you want it? Wherever the hell I can't see it. Let's put this plate back on one more time. Get that mother back on there. Right, so if we put this here, I need a clamp. I couldn't find a clamp that wasn't ridiculously oversized, so I'm going to try masking tape just because this is such a good idea. This isn't going to waste my time at all. No, this will be perfect. First time. And this plate being on here, that's not in the way at all. This was a great idea. Just straight up magical. Now I've got a frog in my throat. Might be corona. Just gonna die real quick. Okay, that doesn't really work at all, but it is on there. Well, that looks like shit, but okay. We're flush with the edge of the vacuum block, which is where we need to be. I am quite lucky I've got that, and it is that size. No one else is going to be that lucky. Right, let's put that plate back on. Now, because you're there where I want to stand, I have to go over here. Seriously though, this filter is probably going to be ruined. Yeah, it's already, that went right through. So this filter is going to be ruined before I ever even use it. Don't put it on the engine unless you're 100% sure that you've finished everything, because you're going to ruin it getting it on and off. This sensor being here is actually dangerous. That's what damaged it before. Pipercross should send me another one for testing their product for free. Okay, what do you think? Can I live with that? Can I live with that? Is that okay? Maybe if the filter's black, that might look better. It does, it sticks out like, yeah, I'm not feeling it there. I wonder if I have another option. Would it be possible at the back? all the way back up under here. It's going to hit on, so the welds for the bracket on the end are quite thick and they make it sit up so it's not going to be flush. Sand those welds flat. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to tap the holes because the tap might not bite for M6 with only this much depth. I don't know, man. It might be a terrible idea. Do it for the views. Get ruin your shit for the views. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. Put it in, take it out. There we go. We'll try electrical tape. Why don't I have any electrical tape in my toolbox? Just go to the garage 5 times. Wasted time. Oh, are we taking this plate off again? I think we are. I'm going to take this off again. Off over there. Don't scratch anything. The camera is only on at the moment in case I just lose it and go into a rage. Electrical tape actually worked pretty damn well once I could get it to stick to itself. Get this stupid filter on here. The filter is stupid. Right. Put this on again. How does it look? Can you live? Oh, it's hidden. It's hidden. Okay. I'm going to put a light in there, which is never going to be there, which means you won't ever have that kind of view, but that's actually not bad. I think I can live with that, especially if that filter was black. That would just disappear. Provided that aluminium is thick enough, then this is going to work. I have to undo all the hoses and undo the 2 bolts that hold it on. But the brake master hose, I'm not going to even try and remove it from here. So I have to remove it from the other end and then pull it back through, which is going to suck. Even when you don't have the filter on there, it doesn't look terrible because that hose blocks it perfectly. Right? I think that might be the perfect location for that. Okay, I need to get these off. Yep. Okay, so they're off. You need to come off there. Yep, okay, done. That was easy too. So that's got to come off there. Just the brake and we're good. I need a blade screwdriver to do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to come up with another cheeky little mod that you might like. It's Wesley Snipes. Because this is a blade screwdriver and Wesley Snipes plays the character Blade, I often call these a Snipes driver. What I didn't notice until editing this is that this particular driver has Woody written on it, and that links to White Man Can't Jump, another of Snipes' movies co-starring Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson on a Snipes driver? Wild. Anyway, I digress. Well, that's a close-up, isn't it? Look at that. And it's all for this. Yeah, look at that. This is Pascalat hose, the same as my power steering hose. Ugh, it's probably a different number though. They've got a range of hoses to make your life more complicated with the ridiculous mods you're trying to make. There we go. Excellent. Just trying to crack this. And I've done it up so tight, Hercules couldn't undo it. Right, there we go. Okay, why are you doing that? Well, I'll show you. If you remove this little piece of tin, you can actually rotate this and it will not affect performance. Let's get it out of there. I want to show you. Oh, it's actually got, it's being held in with pressure. That's why it's not coming out. There we go. See, it's just that. So it's a one-way valve. But if you rotate it, that's not going to make any difference at all to what's going on in there. So why do we have it pointed up? Beats me, but mine's not going to be anymore because I want mine here. I want to do that with it. Doesn't that make more sense than looping up and over? But what we are going to have to do is make a new piece of tin. That's another mod we're going to do. So I need Alan's keys. Where are Alan's keys? If found, return to Alan, because they're his keys. Alan wants his keys back. That's the wrong one. They don't call them Allen keys in Japan. They call it a six-edged wrench. A six-edged wrench. Imagine if these weren't for bolts. Imagine if this was in somehow this undid a nut. It'd be like Allen's nut removing keys. That's f***ed. What are you talking about? The keys that remove Allen's nut. Oh my god. That's f***ed. Allen's nut extraction services. This is poop. By poop I mean f***ed. Oh, that fell. But it landed in a location that I could reach. Excellent. The bolt's not even rooted. And now you can finally see my vision. Can we just... Yep. Yes, we can. The tape that wouldn't stick is now stuck. Fantastic. It's wrapped around that too. Yeah, fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, beautiful. Get f***ed. Yeah, no, don't stick to anything. Do you make my life hell? Yeah, you can do that. Now you're speaking my language. Off. This might be a bust, and the reason is those bolt holes are going to be right on that edge. I measured from here to here, not from here to here, which is what I should have done. I could actually sand that back a little bit, because that wall's quite thick. Sand that flat, and that would give me a millimetre more. This is definitely going to void the warranty, but not that there was one. I've taped it up to stop any bits of shit going in there. All right, rubber jaws. I'm gonna use this bastard. And a whole lot more of this. That's pretty good, yeah? Look at that. Okay. The aluminium will do that to your files, be aware, so you have to scratch all that out later, but that's a problem for next week, me, I suppose. It's time to take that off, and I guess I'm going to do that the same way with the file. I hope that weld really penetrated, because if it didn't, I'm going to expose the butt joint, and then it will leak. Let's place this on here, where it needs to be, and then mark the holes. It's going to be very important for me to mark the center, otherwise I'm going to end up with it a bit pissed. I'm going to eyeball it, because I'm pretty good at that. Okay, we'll go in there. Okay, we're going to M5, and we're hoping these walls are thick enough. What if we just look at it as the bolts are a locator for our RTV sealer to hold it in place. Super glue it on. Attach it with epoxy. I mean, that is screwing in and out, so yeah, that's going to hold. It only has to hold that. Why don't you just take that hose off? Well, yeah, well, I'd love to. I want a tiny little spanner. Do I have one that'll fit this? 4.5 mil. That's glorious. Bye. There's two identical ones right there. That'll do. That's the end of that excursion. That's not perfect. Happy to admit that, but it's actually, you know, that's pretty f***ing good. Because the hole's a 7 mil, it's actually got a bit of slop in it, which means you can move it around, which is good for me. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. And that's on there. That's not going anywhere. Once we put some RTV sealer on there, I'm not going to go with a gasket. I want the holding power of the RTV. How are you going to find out where that is? Why don't I make a gasket? I'm going to use blue tape. It doesn't stick very well. Why are you using it then? Because it's going to be easier to get off, and it's probably not going to distort itself while I'm trying to take it off. I want a cutter, and you are in the way again. Once again, asking you to get the f out of the way. Cutter. Here we go. Hopefully it's a really blunt one, because that would be really useful. Oh yeah, she's blunt, all right. That doesn't want to cut anything. Won't cut the tape. Bet you it cuts the shit out of my finger though. Absolute total balls up. This is just rat shit. Grab a brand new blade and cut myself with it real quick. This blade, when it contacts the aluminium, it's actually cutting the aluminium, but it's struggling to do the tape. This just in, masking tape stronger than aluminium. Well, that and the fact that this is actually going to be backwards. I don't understand why this won't cut. Why is masking tape so much stronger than skin? Okay, right. Now that sucked. Oh, the tape wants to stick to me, but nothing else. The blades won't cut anything except skin. And the tape won't stick to anything except skin. That does not look right. That's really close to the edge. Is it that close to the edge? It's not. I think that was a waste of time. So we're going to erase that real quick and do what I probably should have done in the first place, which is just measure it. What are we going to do? We're going to go from here to this edge, like so, and we're going to mark like that. And then we're going to go this the same. Somewhere there-ish. Now what have we got from this edge? Somewhere there-ish. What else can we go off? That's all we've got. We've got that edge. We know where those holes are. We know where that edge is. This is pretty much all we've got here. So if we take our tape and line it up again, this time taking into consideration where our marks are, we should actually be able to get it perfect. Yep, perfect. The size of the hole I drill in here is not actually going to matter, and the reason I can say that confidently is because on this, it had a fitting. This is the fitting that was on that thing. And if we look at this, we've got a hole here that's only 6 mil big. So as long as the hole in here is bigger than 6 mil, we're actually getting more flow than what the professional supplied. So if I put a 10 mil hole bang in the middle of that, that would be fine, right? I didn't even have to be that accurate measuring the thing. Can we get this 12 mil drill bit into the drill? I think the maximum for this is 10. Yep. So I found this. It's already set up. I don't know what size that is. Let's measure it. 12.5. So that'll work. Use a 5 mil. Drill a pilot hole. I've filled this up full of parts cleaner and then gave it a shake. A whole bunch of schwarf and shit fell out of it. I'm pretty confident there's none left in it. I'm going to go for the ultimate grey. Not much chop. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm already on a quest. Just use a little bit of the cleaner of parts. I think that's good enough. It's not going to fall off. The Loctite's not going to let go. I think we are where we need to be. We can get rid of this excess on the top here. Just block all the light, Dave. There it is. Done it for the clout. No, I did it so you couldn't see the bastard. That's what I was going for. Well, I mean, to be honest, you can't really even see it. Speaking of things you can't see, check out this stealth ECU install I did for the Altezza.